Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to World of Thunder Esports League Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series coverage live on Ultimate Dirt TV. It is part 2 of Championship Sunday. I am Zach Newton, joined alongside Jerry Van Sickle, Brett Wheeler in the booth. As you see, qualifying underway here for the Super Late Models this evening. Small car count on hand tonight, but the racing will still be fast and furious. Jerry, qualifying about halfway over already, and Chase Hardy currently the top of the timesheet.
Hardy up there with a quick time. Of course, we'll see that could all change as Evan C. right now goes quick time as he picks up a 13.4 with a 9.6 behind as we are under the lights here at Cedar Lake. Apparently they've got the lights fixed and we don't have to day race here on Championship Sunday. So great to have each and every one of you tuned in on Ultimate Dirt TV for the World of Thunder Esports League. Mimi's Making Emotion Super Late Model Championship main event. I'm excited.
Yeah, going to be a good show tonight. You see Ethan and Toder taking time. They also got the Jumbotron over there in turns 1 and 2 working. So that's exciting. Toder going to run the high side through 3 and 4 in that Newton Cattle Farms Toder Family Racing entry number 23. He's going to clock in somewhere, I would imagine. That might have been his warm-up lap. We'll see what kind of time he can put up in that brand-new Team Zero race car, Jerry. Blake Majulis goes quick time with a 13.414. He's on dig.
No doubt about it. So Majulis comes in late in the running and pulls quick time. Pulls the rabbit out of his hat. Majulis C. Hardy top 3 qualifiers here tonight at the virtual Cedar Lake Speedway. Of course, taking a great shot. Now, if you're not familiar, Zach, with Cedar Lake, you see that big building behind the pit grandstands?
Big warehouse-looking deal back there.
Yep. The first year they built the arena back there, they ran a Power Eye midget race in the winter. And then during the summer, they run go-karts indoors over there. And then right now during the winter, they transforms into one heck of a motocross track. And a motocross race in there, or arena cross, as we would call it, over there. So Cedar Lake Speedway, parts of it used year-round. And we take a look, 14 of them timed on in. Majulis C. Hardy, Grace Sorensen, Jennifer Hantz, Brenna Weeks, Cattermarsh, Folds, Hall, Austin, New, Logan, and Toder clocking in your 14 cars. So I believe we should see 2 heat races tonight. Of course, kind of like Alex, is kind of like when we race them outside. It seems like championship night. If you're not up there in the money spots, it seems like that's a good night to stay home. And I think it works the same in iRacing too, by the way that we look at it.
Yeah, a lot of guys have decided to go ahead and call it a year here for World of Thunder Season 11. So they did not come out over guys like Blake Majulis. Evan C. still in points contention, still going to try to pick up a win tonight. After qualifying, Evan C. up 13 points. So Blake Majulis can close the gap and steal that championship spot away from Evan C., but he's got his work cut out for him. We line up heat race number 1 for the Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series. On the pole, it is Asheville, New York's Blake Majulis in the 127 for D1RT Racing, currently second in points outside of him. In the 116, brand new Team Zero race car for the Winchester Wildman, Chase Hardy out of Winchester, Virginia.
Going to run number 3 to the inside in a very frigid western Iowa town of Harlan. Hagen Sorensen sits inside of row number 2, and to the outside, that's Brenna Weeks in the 37 in the Mid-South Dirt Slingers entry.
The 15X of the North Georgia Rocket, Tanner Folds for Tanner Folds Racing and 100% Racing, going to line up on the inside of row number 3. Outside him, the Mid-South Dirt Slingers, number 92 of Corey Austin. Shotgun on the field, D1RT setup guru, Matt Logan in the 41 out of Carolina, part of the Charlotte, the Dirt Track and Charlotte Track Prep crew, and a suspension guru in the real world as well. As we get ready to go heat racing, Jerry, bring us to green.
All righty, pace truck going to look to come off. It is your final set of heat races here on Championship Night here on World of Thunder, and we go green flag racing. We'll see 8 laps of distance. It is going to be Blake Majulis out to the early race lead off of 2 and down the back straightaway. Majulis followed by Hardy, Sorensen, Weeks, and Fold coming to lap number 1.
Chase Hardy doing a good job holding off that challenge from Hagen Sorensen, but he's got Weeks, Folds, a whole bunch of guys behind him. Everybody going to go to the big show out of this heat race, and this will line up the inside the inside part of the starting lineup. So track position, very important if you're Blake Majulis. That pole spot, very valuable as you're trying to knock off the 13-point gap that Evan C. has over him after qualifying. If Evan C is unable to win his heat race, that gap will get even smaller before feature time, but C is going to start on the pole in heat 2. Meanwhile, Majulis continues to lead.
Majulis still out front. Hardy, Sorensen, Weeks, Folds, Austin, and Logan. They work the southwestern Wisconsin speed plant, the virtual Cedar Lake Speedway. As they come on down, this battle for second's going to shape up. Hardy's got it. Here comes Hagen Sorensen. Sorensen will lay to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to make some magic happen as they get into turn number 3.
Sorensen gets a good run around the bottom of the racetrack, but he can't quite keep up with the momentum of Hardy running a lane higher. Blake Majulis baptizing the children in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Chase Hardy, though, still holding on to that runner-up spot, but Baby Barry is all over his back bumper.
Working him off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Sorensen going to dig to the bottom of the racetrack. Going to go down there and tickle on the tires. Oh, a little bit of contact. Sorensen now moving on into the 2 spot. He will chase down Majulis, but time's going to run out, Zach, as the white's out. We got one to go.
Yeah, white's out for Blake Majulis down the back straightaway and into turn 3. He's going to win this one in a walk over the rest of the field. Hagen Sorensen going to come home in that runner-up spot, going to get away with murder there, knocking Chase Hardy out of the race with a little right side romance off of turn number 2. Brendan Weeks, Tanner Folds, Austin, Logan, and Hardy. The finishing order, Hardy drops to the back of the pack after that contact. We go to your official results. Should confirm what we just saw there, unless there's any penalties handed out for that contact, Jerry, which I guess is a possibility. But on Championship Sunday, I think they're kind of going to let some stuff slide here as we go to our official results. And it is Blake Majulis, Hagen Sorensen, Brendan Weeks, Tanner Folds, Austin, Logan, and Hardy, your finishing order. We line up heat race number 2 right now.
Taking a look, it is your points leader coming into tonight's event, the Victory Lane Racing 33 of Evan C. and James Grace driving the Blue Group Motorsports 269.
First Lady of Dirt, Jennifer Hunts from $1 Million Motorsports, going to line up in the 11 on the inside of row number 2, outside of her Newton Cattle Farms Racing house car number 12. That is Ben Cowdermarsh out of Northern Kentucky.
Take a look at your final 3 starters. It's Dustin Hall in the 331 to the inside of row number 3, to the outside Brent New in the 144, and Ethan Toder in the 29, the old Newton Cattle Farms Racing entry, sitting there, shotgun on the field of the drag slots. So 2 heat races on the docket for tonight. 2, and we are in number 2, and then we'll be ready to go feature racing.
Absolutely. Going to be short work. This one to settle a points championship. The Mimi's making his Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series. Keep an eye on Toder back there. He's going to be fun to watch as he tries to charge up through the field. Evan C. going to try to hold on to that first place position to keep that points lead at 13, with Majulis picking up some points in his heat race for that heat race win in heat number 1. Evan C. needs to do the same to kind of power protect there. We get ready to go green.
They'll get ready to come green flag racing. Pace truck will pull to the infield. James Grace, Evan C. up there on the front row. Evan C. going to bring that 33 to where it's familiar. That's right front and home in the number 1 spot. C. Grace, Hans in the 1, 2, and 3 down the back straightaway. Evan C. going to work right there to the number 1 spot. Now it is side by side down the front straightaway.
Hans a little tight through turns 3 and 4. Have to see if she can get that sorted out, because she pushed a little bit, lost some ground to James Grace there. Grace going to suck up on the back of Evan C. down the back straightaway. C going to run that kind of short slider line through 3 and 4. He's going to continue to lead. Ben Cowdermarsh going to look to the inside of Hans for the bronze medal spot through turns 1 and 2.
They hustle down the back straightaway. Battle there for the number 2 spot, or 3 spot, Cowdermarsh and Hans. Cowdermarsh there in the 12 car, working on into the number 3 spot, putting Jennifer back in the 11 to the number 4 spot. Remember, all cars transferring to tonight's A main, and it's still Evan C., your race leader.
Yeah, C starting to open up a little bit of gap on the 269 of James Grace. Down the front straightaway they go. Working past halfway, cross flags in the air for C, Grace, Cowdermarsh, Hans, Hall, Toder, and New currently how they run, coming to lap 6 this time by.
They'll hurry down the front straightaway. 6 down, 2 to go. as they work them on in. It is still C, followed by Grace, Countermarch, Hans, Hall, Toter, and New as they bring them on down this time. Now we're looking at Deuce to go.
Here we go, 2 to go. Popsicle sticks in the air for Evan C. Looks like he's going to be able to protect that points lead just a little bit. Ethan Toter seems to be having some problems getting that thing to turn through turns 1 and 2. He goes back to the high side in 3 and 4. Looks a little more comfortable as the white flag going to wait for Evan C. as he works off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway.
Evan C going to make no problems of this one. They'll work him on into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag is out. Evan C. James Grace, Ben Countermarch. Then we will see Jennifer Hans, Dustin Hall, Ethan Toter, and Brent New, your top 7.
So that's how they run for your heat races. We go to your official results here. They roll up on your screen in just a second. There we go. Your official results. Evan C., your winner by almost 1.5 seconds over James Grace. Ben Countermarch in third. Jennifer Hans, Dustin Hall, Ethan Toter, and Brent New, the 7 cars in that heat race. We're going to take a quick commercial break while we do a little track prep, run this thing in, get a little racy for your feature. We'll be back in just a couple seconds here. Stay tuned to Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series, part 2 of the World of Thunder Esports League Championship Sunday coverage, only on Ultimate Dirt TV. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for your A-Main, the Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series. Your front row, your 2 championship contenders. Current second place in Super Late Model points, Blake Majulis out of Asheville, New York. Going to line up in the pole. He trails outside pole sitter Evan C. of Victory Lane Racing in the number 33 machine by 11 points. So we'll keep our eye on that as we work through the feature race this evening.
It'll be Hagen Sorensen in the 45 to row number 2 to the inside of the 269. Ain't that fine? James Grace in the Blue Groove Motorsports machine to the outside.
Brendan in the double deuce for the Mid-South Dirt Slinger is going to line up in 5th. Outside of him, the 12 machine of Ben, the Spaceman Countermarch for Newton Cattle Farms Racing.
Taking a look at row number 4 to the inside, it's Tanner Folds in the 15, the Tanner Folds Racing Hot Rod, and Jennifer Hans driving for $1 Million Motorsports in the 011.
The number 92 of Corey Austin, the Mid-South Dirt Slingers driver, going to roll off in 9th. Outside of him is Dustin Hall in the 331.
Going to the 6th row. Or did we miss? Did I get everything? Did we get everything?
The four-ride parade lap here, Jerry.
So 55 laps on the docket. I'm imagining it's a 50-lap feature tonight. You see them down the back straightaway. They've raced every Sunday here on the World of Thunder Esports League. Mimi is making in motion super late models. And I tell you what, here tonight, you've asked for the best. You've got them 4 abreast. It's Cedar Lake Speedway. You're at home. Make a little bit of noise. Here are your championship feature starters.
So there you see him working the parade lap through turns 1 and 2 under that brand new scoreboard under the lights here at Cedar Lake. We are going to spread the field back out, get ready, go through your last 2 rows of starters, and we're going to turn them loose off of turn 4 for 50 laps of feature racing action. 6 for all in the field, Brent New in the 144 machine. Outside him, the 41 of D1RT's Matthew Logan. Chase Hardy, the Winchester Wildman in the 116, and Ben Countermarsh going to take an EOL. Not really sure what's happening there, but he missed the grid, so he's going to have to go to the end of the longest line, Jerry, and have to work his way through the field.
See him rolling on past, going to tag the tail of the field. But yes, if you're not there when the grid goes out, you are penalized like just normally a lot of outdoor racetracks would do. If you're not there when the cars go to the racetrack, you've given up that starting spot and you've got to head to the tail, which, on a 14-car field on a little racetrack like this, it has been racy most of the night. We'll have to see if that's going to hinder or hamper the run for Ben Countermarsh in the 12-car.
Definitely something we'll keep an eye on. Also going to have to keep an eye again on the front row starters in this one. Majulis and C, your top 2 in points in first and second, where it seems like they've been for most of the season. Evan C has an 11-point lead, so he's got a chance to protect his rate or his lead here. He just needs to finish in front of Majulis, and that'll all but guarantee a championship. Blake Majulis needs to beat Evan C by 11 spots. So C's going to have to take a little tumble here back through the field if that's going to happen for Majulis, Jerry, as we get ready to go green coming to the flag this time by.
We will see. They work their way final time down the back straightaway under the caution before the initial green flag. It'll be Majulis and C. 1, 2. C with a good start as they come off a turn number 4. The green flag is whipping to the wind, and here we go. 50 laps of distance here at Cedar Lake Speedway, and it's going to be Blake Majulis round the outside of the race lead. Hagen Sorensen going to second. Now they will get battled up in behind Evan C in the 33.
C going to fall back to third spot. He's going to go around. He's going to get big contact. That's going to bring out a caution. Boy, we talked about it early. That's exactly what we thought would have to happen for Evan C to maybe have this points chase be in jeopardy. And sure enough, does not take long at all. Brendan Weeks going to come up the inside there. Looks like they almost made contact in turn 3 and 4. You're going to see C go to the bottom here, and Brendan Weeks is going to give him all he's got, Captain. A whole lot of contact there. C goes around. He gets collected by another car as he slides up the racetrack here. That's the 11 of Jennifer Hans, and C goes for the big ride, and he's going to go to the tail end, Jerry. I think he's going to get a quick repair. Not 100% sure. I know a lot of leagues run those. I can't imagine that we wouldn't here at least have one, but he's going to go to the end of the longest line, and he's going to have his work cut out for him, Jerry.
Yes, tough break. We'll see what happens on this situation. He'll go drop back into that 14th spot, but believe he's got to finish 11th or 12th, and Majulis has to win for Majulis to win by 1. So a lot of laps left. A lot of things can happen. Don't need them to happen early in this. So hopefully everybody's figuring things out that, hey, got 2 guys racing for a championship. The rest are racing for a win. We'll give them that space they need, and don't be the factor. Don't be the deciding factor as we get ready to go back to the green flag.
Yeah, currently right now, Brendan Weeks, definitely the factor. You can't win it. We say it all the time, Jerry's. We're back underway. You can't win it in turn 1, but you sure can lose it. Well, in this case, I don't think Evan C had anything to do with possibly losing it in turn 1. As Blake Majulis going to lead off the high side of turn 4, Sorensen second. James Grace currently sitting in the 3rd spot, but keep an eye as the field slicing and dicing all the way back there. Ethan Toder already up to 6th.
As they work the field on down and around the back straightaway and down the front straightaway, we will keep an eye back here deep in the field. The 41 machine. That, of course, is Matthew Logan working with Brent New and Dustin Hall. Ethan Toder right there. Deep in the field, we race him. You see C still back there in the 14th spot. He has got to start working that machine up through the field. They'll work their way down into turn number 1 and 2. It's still Majulis, Sorensen, Grayson, Folds.
Yeah, good run for Blake Majulis going so far. He's out in front now. Sorensen in second. You'll remember some contact between Chase Hardy and Sorensen in their heat race. Gave Sorensen the runner-up spot and all that track position. I am curious if Chase Hardy can make his way to the front, if he's got a receipt for Sorensen there. As you see Toder slide up the track and squeeze Jennifer Hans to the outside wall. That is currently your battle for 5th. As Hans goes around, Toder going to pull through. Looks like we've got another car spinning, and I think that's Chase Hardy involved over there as well, Jerry.
Hardy involved over there. Two of them sitting there parked there. And that is going to move. We'll see what happens here as we watch the replay.
You see Toder slide up the racetrack, make a little bit of contact with Hans through 1 and 2. And then we go to the high side. Looks like Toder going to flick it in there deep. It looks like I think Hans is going to get into the wall in turn 1.
Ooh.
She does. Yeah, it just goes around. I feel like she had a lane there, Jerry. But you get into the outside wall here at Cedar Lake, especially running the high side. You're carrying a lot of momentum. She collects Chase Hardy. I think that's Brendan Weeks around, or not Brendan Weeks, Corey Austin around, and the outside of row number 2 also parked over there.
Yeah, you watch that, and of course the off ramp right there in turn number 1. As you go up there, that flattens out a little bit, and it's kind of like a lot of racetracks that have that kind of an exit off the racetrack. iRacing does such a great job of visually scanning and getting these things within minuscules of a perfection to what the racetrack actually is, and that tapers off up there once you get past that cushion. And you see it, a lot of guys and gals, when they get up there, that car will unload on that right rear, and it just kind of acts like a big magnet to that outside wall.
It's kind of like
tough break for Jennifer.
It's not a downhill like Lernerville on the service or Brownstown or a number of other tracks, but when it flattens off like that, if you go over that lip, you're going for a nonstop thrill ride, or at least until the car stops spinning after you hit concrete. Blake Majulis leading again off the restart down the back straightaway. Sorensen going to go to the high side, try to rip the lip through 3 and 4, make up a little bit of ground in that 100% Racing number 45. His 100% Racing teammate Tanner Folds currently in 4th. Ethan Toder now running up in a top 5 starting spot after a dead last qualifying effort. Not a great run in his heat race. He's figured something out for the feature here as we continue to work. This is lap 11 of 50. Folds going to get into the wall. Toder slides up in front of him. That's good for 4th.
Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Still Majulis, Sorensen, Grace, Toder working those top spots. But we watch this. Here comes a 331 machine of Dustin Hall around the outside. Hall will rip the lip down there in turn number 1 and 2. They'll hurry on down the back straightaway. Tanner Folds right there sitting ahead of that great battle behind him. You've got 2 or 3 rows of 2 deep down the front straightaway.
Yeah, some great racing here is Matt Logan going to go to the inside of Dustin Hall in the battle for 6th. Give it to Hall down the back straightaway by the MD3 on the nose of that machine. The Slick Sport driver to the outside, D1RT to the inside. Logan going to lose a little time down the front straightaway. He's going to fall in line. They continue to battle 3 wide behind them. There is, I believe that's Ben Countermarsh, Brendan Weeks, and Evan C. up to 11th, which I believe, Jerry, may be good to put him back in the championship lead.
We'll do the math here real quick as he works up there in that number 10 spot. That should put him with a 1-point advantage if he finishes in that spot, if I do my math right. Down into turn number 1 and 2 they go. It is still that 41 of Logan, Hall, and Folds in the 15. They continue to duke it out down in turn 4.
Well, Majulis and Sorensen have started to drive away just a little bit from 3rd place James Grace. Ethan Toder trying to pull him back in, get in a podium spot. Tanner Folds running 5th with a little bit of gap that closes up very quickly through turns 3 and 4 between himself and 6th place Dustin Hall. Matt Logan right there. We've got a 3-car battle for a top 5 spot. Hall gets squirrely in 1 and 2. Cut down from Matt Logan. He goes to the inside in 3 and 4.
A little bit of slide and a little bit of concrete kiss down there in turn number 3 and 4. Like we said, Evan C. right now in the 10th spot. He has got the championship tied up by 2 spots if he finishes 10th. So by 2 positions. So we'll watch this battle right there. Some right side romance, left side loving coming. Holy goodness. We have not only gone to Cedar Lake for a championship night in the Supers, but apparently a little bit of a derby action between those 2 cars as they hurry off of turn number 4.
James Grace and Ethan Toder driving bumper cars down the front straightaway there. Toder's got some spoiler damage on that number 23 machine. That could play factor later on in the race as we continue to work. But he's taken the 3rd spot now from James Grace, and he sets his sight on Sorensen and Majulis, who are way out in front. Those 2 kind of on a little Sunday night cruise here on Championship Sunday, way out in front. As now you see Matt Logan continuing to battle. He's trying to chase James Grace after disposing of Dustin Hall and Tanner Folds. Logan up to 5th.
Everybody kind of migrating to the top of the racetrack. It's still Majulis, Sorensen, Toder, Grace, Logan, Hall, Folds, New. Now look at this. A little bit of a slide across the snoot. Watch Dustin Hall, the 31. White Castles are served. Here come the Crave Cases. They are being tossed back and forth like Santa throwing them down the chimney on Christmas Eve. Holy cow, you've got a battle back there for 6th.
Well, Hall tried to throw another one. Fold's going to go in and try to block him. Hall nearly woed the car up and got to run around the bottom, but he's not quite able to complete the move as Ethan Toder starting to drive away from Matt Logan and James Grace just a little bit. Still a long way back from Sorensen and Majulis, though. They are way out in front again. Blake Majulis currently holding on to a race win, but with Evan C. running 9th, Jerry, Majulis is still 2nd in points.
We do that. Like we said, Majulis going to win the battle, but the war will probably go unless something catastrophe happens for Evan C. in that 33. As now look at this. Here comes Hagen Sorensen, cautions out. They caught him pretty good, and then all of a sudden they look up and the lights are yellow. So caution on a racetrack. We'll see what happened.
Yeah, a couple laps past halfway, we go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. It's Brent New in front of Evan C. Boy, not where you want to be. It looks like New. Okay, there we go. New tries to run the slider line. He collects Tanner Folds running the cut down line off of turn 2. Ben Countermarsh involved in that wreck as he was running the high side there, but that's just an unfortunate racing deal. Folds cuts down. New slides up. As you see, looks like a slider was coming from Dustin Hall, and New gets his nose chopped, and he goes around. Unfortunate for Countermarsh, nowhere to go.
He was just right there at the end, and nothing to get away from that deal as they work him on around here. As we said, just shy, or just past the halfway point in this one, Zach. And as we said, Majulis gonna win the battle, but it looks like the war possibly gonna go to Evan C. We'll see how it works out as he is motored up into, I believe, about the 6th spot right now, 7th showing on the lap leaderboard. So we'll watch this one. Still a lot of racing left in the feature, though.
Yeah, a whole lot of racing still to go in this one. As you see, we are back underway on the beans off of turn 4. Toder going to go to the bottom of the racetrack. Sorensen, Logan going to follow Majulis to the top side. Sorensen's going to scrub the wall. Can Ethan Toder get there? Not quite as they work down the back straightaway. He's going to slide up the racetrack in front of Logan, try to get in on the high side. They're 3 wide almost for 3rd. Matt Logan going to get it around the top side. Toder hits the Ute tire, bounces up. James Gray still stuck back there. Now Tanner Folds, Grayson Hall are 3 wide down the back straightaway.
They'll work him down into turn number 3 and 4. They fan him out 3 deep, and they'll sell him cheap down the front straightaway. James Grace, the cream of the Oreo sandwich. Look at this. Evan C's coming in. He'd like to make it a two all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, a Big Mac attack as he's coming with the 33 machine round the outside down into turn number 1.
Yeah, see, he's got that thing hooked up, has figured out how to make that car work. Despite the damage he took earlier, Majulis starts to drive away from the field. Toder goes to the top side, trying to work around Logan and get that 3rd spot back right behind Hagen Sorensen. Sorensen not out of the woods from these 2 yet.
They work down the back straightaway. Sorensen, he has got a mirror full of that 41 of Logan and the Toder machine. Toder, of course, timed in 14th, had to start deep on heat race number 2, has worked his way through the field, and now he is now into the number 4 spot.
Yeah, as this track has dried off, Toder has definitely gotten faster. Was not good in the tacky stuff earlier in qualifying or his heat race, but he's showing us something here in this as he gets into the wall, but so does Logan. They both push up the track just a little bit. Sorensen opens up a big gap. There's a gap behind Toder back to James Grace, who's still trying the bottom. Dustin Hall goes with him to the low side of the corner in front of Evan C., now running 7th.
They work off a 2 down the back straightaway. Still Majulis, Sorensen, but we'll keep our eyes on this battle back here deep in the field for 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 as they hustle off the bottom. Here comes C in the 33. Now Toder looking on to the 41 of Logan. That's for 3rd and 4th down the back straightaway.
Yeah, good battle here for that final podium spot. You can see Majulis gapping the field. Sorensen trying to reel him in. He had reeled him in at the end of that last green flag run, but that caution broke up his momentum and took away the ability to challenge for that spot. Is Toder going to go to the bottom, slide up the racetrack there, trying to make up some ground on Logan? Looks like it might have worked for just a second, but he loses that ground as they work down the front straightaway as Logan gets that good run off the top side. Top side seems to be the way to go here, but now they're trying different stuff in turn 3, trying to make up some ground on leader Majulis.
So everybody trying to eye the prize, which is the 127. Can they do it? Sorensen and Logan back there. Now Logan still got Ethan Toder right there all over him like a dirty shirt. You see this great camera angle. They're right up on the top as they race down the front straightaway. We ride along with Matthew Logan. Matt Logan right there in the 41. You can see over his shoulder is Ethan Toder in that 23 machine, and he is on him.
Yeah, he's in his hip pocket like a candy bar or something. He's saving for later, and Toder's all over him as Logan gets into the wall. Toder going to go to the inside. They're going to bump a little bit. Toder now going to go to the bottom of the racetrack, slide up. He's got that third spot, up 9 spots.
They work him on around. Overhead shot, beautiful here. Blake Majulis, Hagen Sorensen, Ethan Toder now to the number 3 spot. There you see Sorensen going to work the top line down the front straightaway into turn 3. You see the racetrack has moved way to the Crete. It is a complete different monster than it was just 48 laps ago.
Yeah, it is all the way up there by the concrete, especially in turn 1 and 2. A little more forgiving in 3 and 4. But you have got a very slim margin for error in turns 1 and 2, especially with that pit entrance and exit that we talked about there on turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4 are getting a little more forgiving, but Toder, long way to go to Sorensen. Sorensen, a very long way to go to Majulis. As the palm going to be in the air, 5 to go as Majulis works around lap car Brent New in the 44.
They work him on down the front straightaway. Still Majulis out front. He has been there from the drop of the green, no problems. He has ran away with this one all alone up front by himself. Bill Sorensen, though, back there in second. Toder, Logan, Grace, Hall, C, Folds, Weeks, and Countermarsh round out your top 10.
Yeah, good racing all over the track. There you see Evan C. in 7th. He's just a few short laps from a Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series title. He's going to go to the bottom of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4, trying to work underneath Dustin Hall as he closes in again on that championship just 3 laps away.
So down the back straightaway, still Evan C. working that 33 machine down to the inside of Dustin Hall. That is your battle for 6th. You know Evan C's wanting to get around of him, but you also know that he wants to be conservative, does not want to put himself in a position, as he was earlier in this feature race, to have something happen and take out of his hand a championship. White flag is out off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, he'll gas it up. The final 2 left-handers, the final Mimi's Making Motion Super Late Model feature here on the season goes to Blake Majulis. He wins the war, but it's going to be Evan C. winning the battle by coming home 7th, and he will be crowned your champion. Hagen Sorensen, Ethan Toder, Matthew Logan, James Grace rounding out your top finishing order.
So we will go to your official results. As you see Majulis celebrating the win on the front straightaway. He picks it up by 3 seconds over Hagen Sorensen. Ethan Toder comes in 3rd. That's another podium run for Toder. Matt Logan, James Grace, Dustin Hall, Evan C., the top half of the field. C finishes good enough to hold on to a championship in the Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series.
What a feature. Green, pretty much just with the exception of a couple cautions, this thing was green most of the time, and Blake Majulis dominated every lap of this one.
Absolutely. We only saw Sorensen get close for a second. Majulis holds on to pick up another win, but again, not quite enough for a championship. We are, I believe, going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here with Victory Lane interviews with your top 3 and champion Evan C. right after this, only on Ultimate Dirt TV. We're back on the front straightaway here at Cedar Lake Speedway in New Richmond, Wisconsin. Zach Newton, Jerry Van Sickle, bringing you your post-race coverage. I'm here with third-place finisher Ethan Toder. Toder, bud, you sucked in qualifying. What happened?
I had a dog jumping on my leg and trying to get my lap, so we smacked the wall, and then it was over from there.
Well, you had to start in the back of a heat race. You finished, I think, 6th in the heat, but you made a run through the feature. You passed, I think, 9 or 10 cars. A little contact with James Grace there, but all in all, you can't be upset with a bronze medal finish with where you started in this one.
Nah, I'm pretty sure we started around 11th or something. Came through the field pretty quick. We had a pretty good setup, but I mean, definitely not a winning one. Definitely got to get back to the drawing board and get ready for the pros.
Well, Ethan Toder coming home in 3rd. Ethan, any sponsors you want to thank on that number 23 machine?
I got to thank Newton Cattle Farms and Vision Designs, TFR, BGR. I think that's it. Oh, and Earl Ramey Race Engines.
All right. Well, Ethan Toder, your 3rd place finisher in this one. Jerry Van Sickle has caught up with fellow Iowa native Hagen Sorensen, your runner-up.
Nice run tonight. Come home in the bridesmaid spot. Not quite there to get Majulis, but kept her together and kept the hounds off your back bumper.
Yeah, it was a really good night. Earlier in the race, I got up to Majulis about a 10th behind him, and that caution came out and really killed me. Blake hit the wall a few times, and there's no doubt in my mind that I could have passed him for the lead there, and then that caution came out, gave him time to regroup himself, and he took off, but it was a really good race. Blake's really fast, hard to catch, so.
Yeah, it looks like, once that restart got there, he got away from you, but you had to keep a couple hard chargers. Toder was back there, a lot of hounds there. Was you just kind of running your own line, letting them try to figure out how they were going to get around you?
Yeah, I hit the wall a few times, and I noticed Toder got pretty close to me there, and I knew if I kept hitting the wall, he was going to get around me, so I just kind of tried to hold it and hope he didn't pass me, and I ended up holding that 2nd position. But yeah, Toder was really fast, had a fast car, and he was coming.
So we know last year, because Christmas is right around the corner, Hagen, and we know last year that Mom and Dad got you iRacing for Christmas. Are they going to maybe get your race car for Christmas this year?
I'm hoping. Maybe if I get lucky, or maybe Dad's car that he has now, I could turn that into mine.
Yeah, but if Dad starts talking about a new race car, you know what the plan is, right?
I get his car he has now.
Maybe I'll have to send him a message and see what Santa's got for stocking stuffers planned for you. Well, Hagen, you have a good Christmas. We'll see you back in season 12, and we'll see you down the road. Nice runner-up finish, buddy.
Yep, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I have caught up with our winner tonight, Blake Majulis, the D1RT 127 machine. And Blake, you come home victorious, unfortunately, 8 points short of Evan C. for the title, but a great run nonetheless. Great run tonight for sure.
Yeah, definitely a good run. I kind of knew we weren't going to win the championship coming into this, so I just wanted to get a win out of it, and we did that, especially the last few laps there. Felt really, really good and learned a lot. So first time running this track at nighttime, so like I said, learned a lot.
Yeah, again, a great run for you, great season for you. Just 8 points the difference between you and Evan. Seemed like you guys were battling every single week in this division. The Mimi's Making in Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series. I trust that we will see you back next season. Going to get out of here so we can get the pros ready to roll. Any sponsors you want to thank on that 127 machine?
Just D1RT Racing, Sim Seats, ML Performance, Folds Graphics, Bighorn Taxidermy, ShopFergie22.com. Go check it out. Ultimate Dirt TV, you guys for everything you do and everybody that watch. Thank you.
All right, Blake Majulis subdued in victory tonight with a runner-up performance in the championship. And Jerry Van Sickle has caught up with your Mimi's Making in Motion Super Late Model Dirt Series champion. That is Victory Lane Racing's Evan C. Jerry.
Evan, what a great season 11. You come out on top. 8 points is what you win this deal by. Kind of had to be nervous about lap number 3, weren't you?
Yeah. I figured we had a little bit better points lead, I think, in the supers than the pros. So wasn't too worried. I figured we could at least make up some spots and get back up there around the top 10 and, just not lose that many points tonight. But, I wish we could have raced it out there. I think we had a pretty fast car. It's just after we got wrecked, we were just completely destroyed. I don't think there was a part of my car that didn't get hit there. But, overall, it was a good season for us. I mean, we were able to finish consistently, top 5 about, every single time, we was on the track. So, definitely can't complain.
There you go, and you use that one word that we talk about. I've watched guys win track championships and series championships by never winning a feature event. But fortunately, you've had that success. But consistency, you've consistently qualified well. You've consistently ran well in heat races and ran well in the features. And that's what it takes, is clicking off. It isn't always those winning every show. It's about being there in the top 2 or 3 every show, isn't it?
Yeah, I try to make sure, I do that every race I feel like. That's one of my kind of strong suits, is just, even when I'm not having that good of a race, still trying to get that top 5 finish, and it definitely helped me out, I think, be able to win this points championship, even when I did get, wrecked a couple times this season.
There you go. Got a lot of people to thank. I know they've been with you. You get a chance about every week to thank them. But now that you are a champion, who do you want to thank for this championship run here on Sunday?
Yeah, I just you got to thank all the guys at Team VLR for all they do. Jeff Brown and RX9 Flag, Jim Emery Duck Silver Design for awesome paints, Captain Morgan, Kevin Dedman, his man Dirty Grass Soul, McConey Setup Shop, shopforyou.com, and CFM Esports. And just thank y'all for doing the broadcast for us each week, and Steven for putting on the series.
All right. Well, it's our pleasure having you race with us, and it's our pleasure to crown you as the Mimi's Making Emotion Super Late Models Champion here in Season 11, and we'll see you back for the pros here later on this evening. Congratulations on the championship, Evan.
Thank you.
Zach, what a season! Season 11. I got to jump in this thing about halfway point, but if the back half of the season was a carbon copy of the front half, what a fantastic group of cars! What a fantastic group of racers! And as we always say, the cream rises to the top, and here it did. Evan C. bringing himself to a championship.
Yeah, Jerry, it's great. It's been great working with you. Can't wait for season 12. All the cool stuff coming here in just a few weeks. It'll be, I believe, you and I hopefully back in the booth together. The beginning of a beautiful friendship, Jerry. Definitely had a good time working with you. We'll have a good time working with you again in the future. Just a few short weeks from season 12. We're going to get out of here. The Mimi's Making Emotion Super Late Model Dirt Series done and dusted. Evan C., your champion. Blake Majulis, your winner tonight. And runner-up in the points chase, Drew Hopkins, third in points. James Grace and Dustin Hall, your top 5. Jerry Flippo, Ethan Toder, and Chase Hardy, Hagen Sorensen, and Nick Cooper, the top 10 in points. Just 8 points the difference between Majulis in second and C, your champion. For all of us at Ultimate Dirt TV, Brett Wheeler in the production chair, Jerry Van Sickle and me, Zach Newton. Be nice if I could remember my own name. We'll see you back here for the Pro Late Models, the Warrior Logistics Pro Late Models Championship Sunday festivities. In just a short while, it's World of Thunder Esports League coverage only on Ultimate Dirt TV.